a full looking at people's profiles, and they have pictures of themselves and the place where you're going to stay, and the exact address, and various details about themselves. And more than what people say about themselves is what other people say about them. There's a whole sort of review system, and once you've been with someone, you can say either I was traveling with them, or I stayed at their house, or they stayed at my house, or whatever, and you can say how that experience was. And the typical note on this, by the way, is to look at someone you're thinking of staying at their place. You're going to see 100% positive rating is what you're going for, which most people have, actually, because they're really nice in this community. If you see one negative rating, says the expert on the subject, Carl Gaida, then don't bother, because there's so many other people with 100% positives. Which on the flip side means if you're hosting, make it a good experience. One negative can kind of screw you over. Carl Gaida, by the way, wrote a whole little free book thing for download. I will link that somewhere around here with more details. But yeah, more features. So you can see how people have reviewed each other, and then you can go check and see those people who reviewed them. Are they verified? There's also some system called vouching. Vouching is when you very seriously declare that someone is trustworthy. And you can only vouch if you've been vouched for by someone else. So, like, way back in time, it was, like, just the people who ran the site had vouching powers. And they vouched a couple people they knew personally, and then it spread out from there. And the shtick is that if someone who's been vouched does something bad or gets in trouble somehow, not only does that person get, screwed over or kicked off the site or whatever they do, but the people up the chain, to some extent, also face penalties. So, you only vouch for someone if you're pretty sure about them. And then you can look at a thing, and if it says vouched, and then sometimes it says like vouched 26 times or whatever, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm pretty sure I can trust this person. I'm pretty sure that works. And by the way, this isn't the greatest setup for a crime anyway, really, because either you're going to someone's house and they're fully aware that you're coming, which is not the best way to burglarize someone's house, and Mary mentioned that things are already recorded on the website, yada yada. Or you're having them come to your house, if you're the burglar, or if you're the something or other terrible thing, you're having them come to your house, but then you would need to, like, have a house to do that out of, and that makes it a little hard. It would be easier just to break into people's houses, rather than like invite them over, and like you're not going to last very long in couchsurfing that way, trying to pull something nefarious. Basically, it's no more dangerous than regular just traveling. I mean, there's always a chance you could get mugged by somebody, and in fact, the guy mugging you has probably a better out on this because he's revealed no information about himself. He's not connected or recorded in any way. That's a better way to rob someone. Not that I'm giving advice on how to rob people. I'm just saying. With the security features they've got in place, Couchsurfing is pretty safe. I think it's a great way to get around. I have done just a little. I've only done Couchsurfing thus far with like people I already knew, so I can't say I've done the whole stranger bit myself. But I've recently been contacting strangers around here in Tokyo and say, hey, what's up? And you don't need to actually stay at their house with them. There's also a feature for just meeting for coffee or whatever. And just meeting people, and you can do like language exchange, or you can do all sorts of whatever random activities with people. It's really, really neat. And I'll share with you right now, this dream of mine, I'd love to accomplish this someday, somehow. Serial couchsurfing. By which I mean, couchsurfing so much that I wouldn't actually need a place to live. Just stay a couple days. You typically stay like 1 or 2 days at someone's house. Like the most you'll get is like 5 days. But it's like a couple days at someone's place, and then like a couple days at someone else's place. Actually, there are a couple people who will say like, I want, for 2 months someone to stay at my place. So that does happen. But like 98% of the time it's like 5 days less. Anyway, a couple days at someone's place, and then a couple days at someone's place, and then I guess a month at someone else's place, and just keep bouncing and keep meeting people. And that is the payment, by the way. This is how you there's no money involved, but there is a social payment. There is the meeting of people. There is, hanging out. And it's also expected that whoever's surfing will, sort of contribute non-monetarily. Like, you'll do the dishes or, something small. And in the end, more often than not anyway, it's a really great experience. Sometimes I suppose you meet someone you don't really click with. Extremely rarely you meet, a terrible criminal of some kind. But from all I've heard, from people who've done this a lot more than me, and that's where I'm getting my opinions, by the way, not just from my ideals of what this is, but people who've done this say, this is really great. And it's so much better than just staying in your regular random hotel. So that's Couchsurfing. And I think it's awesome. Thanks for watching. See you later.